Welcome back. So we're going to do a cruise summary review here, just in case you don't have an hour to kill watching our videos.
For some reason, you don't want to devote an hour to it.
I'm just going to hit highlights of the whole trip and the review, not just going to every little intricate detail, because it is a lot of time and time is precious. So just start out with the ship. This is just like I said, if you don't know, myself, my wife, and my toddler son, we cruised on this one. So he was about 2 months away from turning 4 years old. With the ship, the thing that you're going to be really impressed with, even if you're not art people like us, is the artwork. It's stunning on the ship. It's really, you always look for it. It's really intriguing, and I know nothing about art, but I was impressed with it. You're going to like the Odyssey Gold Room area. The service on the ship is going to be second to none I've had on a cruise ship. I mean, little things they do that you just don't see on other cruise lines. And an example of that, they bring your daily planner out in your room for the next day without asking. Mints on the pillow. They clean your room twice a day. The dining room, you get bread baskets. They bring menus to the dining room table without you asking, which we've talked about that. And even the little things like the waitress cut out our lobster, cut it out of the shell. So that was a good thing. The little things in the service that you just don't see. The ship was never crowded. I mean, and we were at 2,500 out of 3,250 capacity, so we were a small percentage, but still, I think it could have handled the crowds. Really beautiful ship overall. The magic carpet's kind of a gimmick, honestly, just our opinion. Not a lot of use for it, honestly. It doesn't move a ton. The rooms are really big, really nice. The whole ship's it's brand new, so it's just, state-of-the-art technology, everything. Your room key is the RFID, where you just touch it and it opens, that kind of stuff. On to some stuff, cruising with a toddler, where there was 13 kids under the age of 18 on the whole ship.
You probably haven't seen that again.
No, I've never seen that before. We were the first week of December, so that might have had something to do with it. But this is not a ship for families and children, especially teenagers. You're going to be bored out. They're going to be bored out of their mind. There's really not much for them to do. There's no arcade. There's a pool, but it's just one big pool. So, it's not anti-kid, but it's just, not really all that's made for kids. Just a little example of how out of touch with the children's market they are. Chicken nuggets are not on the daily dinner menu in the dining rooms, which is really, really confusing, since most children make it through their toddler and early childhood years on chicken nuggets and mac and cheese. But, that's just our opinion. If you've got children, honestly, you're going to be better off on a Royal Caribbean Carnival, or even a Norwegian, where you can ride go-karts and stuff like that. So you're going to be the children's kids area, the kid campus, very nice area. No one was there other than a couple families that we talked to about every time we went in there. 5 or 6 kids maybe total where they babysit your kids for you for free, that kind of stuff. But not for kids. On the food, biggest complaint about the whole ship was how they pushed you toward the buffet.
And that was the biggest surprise for me from the outside, was that.
And you're going to see a lot of reviews. I know Brandon's watched others where they said the same thing, that pushed you toward the buffet or paying restaurants. We didn't do any of that. And if you get your breakfast hours, big complaint, 8 to 9:30, or breakfast in the main dining room at Eden Cafe. Lunch is 12 to 1:30, regardless who, what, when, where, why. They're shutting it down. So if you're going to eat breakfast on a non-C day, you're not going to do it in the Eden Cafe, because it's only open on C days. Basically you're going to be at the buffet. That's basically what they push you toward, and the buffet tries to cater to everyone. There's a lot of little things to cater to all the different clienteles and people there, but there was nothing great. Pizza was a little greasy, for our opinion. The dining room food was very disappointing for us.
Yeah, I expected that to be like heads and shoulders better than.
Service was unbelievable, even dining room. The little bread, the 3 dips they give you. No complaints there. Service was great.
I would be a little curious about the service if it was 100% full.
I think you would lose some of it. There's no doubt.
Probably
we literally never waited for a table. We walked up, didn't even use a reservation because they had shut it down. They said just come stand up and get a table. And literally walked up, gave them our room number, had a table every time. But yeah, the buffet food was very mediocre. Really, all buffet food's kind of the same to us. So we like the options and variety that you do get on a Carnival Royal Caribbean. But we really thought overall, top to bottom, the food on Carnival was better because that's our most recent one to compare to. So that's the current thing we compared it to, was the food on the Mardi Gras. We really liked the options better on there, and dining room food as well, which was shocking to me. I expected the dining room food to be better. But a good thing was the dip gelato that they have up at the front of the buffet area on Scoops.
And having all the different flavors.
Yeah, like 8 to 10 flavors every day. Some gelato, some hand-dipped ice cream. It was really good. No complaints there. Always open. 12 to 6 was a lot of time to be open. They'd restock it like once a day. That was good. That was. But one of the highlights, supposedly, as far as alternate restaurants, would be the Eden Cafe, which is open on C days for breakfast and lunch at 8 to 9:30 breakfast and 12 to 1:30 for lunch. The food was almost unedible there, and I don't say that a lot on cruise ships, but
No, that's not your reputation.
just an example. The first day was good, but the next day got the same exact thing. It couldn't eat it. It was just cooked. It wasn't cooked properly. Went lunch there one day. I love salt. That's probably the worst thing in my diet is salt. The soup was so salty I couldn't eat it, which is a big statement. Next day they over-adjusted the soup. It was so bland you couldn't even eat it because it was just like eating stale dry loaf bread. I mean, it was terrible, the soup was. So it was just all over the board. That was one of the bigger disappointments on the food too for us. And don't know, maybe it's just our taste, but whatever. As far as entertainment, the theater is the nicest, neatest theater I've ever seen. I mean, with this TV screen.
You surprisingly took a good picture of this.
Great theater, yeah. The wraparound TV screen, the TV screens open up, the theater circular. It's just the best theater I've ever been in on a cruise ship. I mean, and the TVs, they have even on the rooftop garden, they have the TV up top where they have some outdoor Latin parties and this, that, and the other, which our son actually enjoyed dancing to, even though he didn't understand a word of it. But the TV was the draw there for him, and the upbeat music, this, that, and the other. And the app's a good thing on the ship. Your app is, they're handy to have. You don't want to use them. I like to be able to prepare for dinner, do this, that, and the other, and be able to turn the lights off in the stateroom in bed from your phone.
I just don't think I need that much technology.
It's convenient, but it was a nice feature. But if you don't want to use it, you don't have to use it. Another tip too is the photo package. They're not going to push photos. Take as many photos as you can. And at the end, we could have bought every photo.
And there's no downside in that, because worst case you just don't buy them.
Yeah, you're not obligated to buy them. They offered us every photo we took for the whole week. It was $87, which I've never seen such a deal on a cruise ship. And it wound up being like 16
I know
photos.
Carnival used to do something like that, but I think you get like X amount of pictures.
It was 12 pictures when we bought it.
Yeah.
That was Little Ann's first cruise, so we were excited about it. Got
like
the 12.
$100 or something?
It was like $2 something, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a lot pricier. But yeah, $87 for 16 professional photos. Wished I'd have took more photos, but they don't push them, I guess, for that reason. So that's a good thing. But overall, every cruise is a good cruise. But having a toddler, it's probably going to honestly be a long time before I get back on a celebrity cruise ship and a child, because it's just not going to be for us at the current state of life. And if I had to pay a lot of money for it, I probably wouldn't do it anyway. But just us, it just wouldn't be worth the money. So. In my opinion.
Yeah, that's, we went over that before about how it was just kind of had to make the best of using the credit in a tough situation. But, I do think it is important to know the cruise line that is best for you, because not, even though it may not be for him, it may be good for you. You may not, like you may like the buffet food, and that may not be, and that may not be a negative. You may,
if you've got a child, though, this isn't going to be for you, because they're going to be happier with the splash pad, arcades, pools.
Yeah, child and teenager,
putt.
I don't think that's negotiable.
Our son kept looking at the splash pad on the Carnival ship park beside us, pointing at it like, "Hey, we can't get over there." So I mean, you're going to be better off with those type, or Royal Caribbean with all their carousels and everything they've got going on too. So, but that's all I got.